Hey, Mama. This is Jocelyn Hillam, and this is the Tuesday episode of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. And it has been on my mind lately to really focus on the first 6 weeks of pregnancy and help you guys through that, because as I visit with people who have been pregnant, that is always the hardest phase. In fact, just this last week, I was visiting with another woman who that was also the hardest phase for her, and it was for me too. And I want to give you some mental strength tips to help you get through when you are really struggling with that morning sickness and just all the physical changes that first trimester can bring. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life, and I can help you. Thanks for joining. Just like you eat food every day, that nourishes your body. Your mind also needs nourishment, or it can kind of have problems, just like our body. If we don't nourish it correctly and properly over time, our body can have problems. And the same can happen to our mind. Although in pregnancy, it's like double timed. And it can make things very hard, very fast, and especially mentally. If you're in that first 6 weeks of pregnancy where you're just feeling pretty cruddy, your mind is probably also going to find it very difficult to stay positive because you do not feel good. And the tips I'm going to give are tips that I have tried that have helped me get through and to have a better, strong mental mindset than before. Implementing these really did help. So give your brain some mental nourishment through this podcast and trying some of the things I recommend. Now, they are similar to all the things I've already recommended on this podcast before, but we need those reminders and we need that constant encouragement, especially in this really hard time, to keep going and to keep trying even when it feels really hard to shift and change our thoughts. It is a journey, and little by little you can improve. So the first thought that can help you shift is you can feel miserable, but that doesn't mean you have to think miserable. It is very empowering to realize that we have the agency to shift our thoughts. And even if your body is feeling pretty not great, you don't feel like doing anything, you are falling behind on everything, you don't have to think all those negative thoughts. You can shift away and find better things to think about. And I am going to give you tips in the next 2 tips of how to get your brain to go there. Give yourself grace, Mama. I know that it's so hard for you to fall behind in all the areas, even with basic things that you used to do that you can't do. I have been there and I have felt the heaviness of feeling inadequate. Like I couldn't do the basic things and just really beating myself up. But I want you to learn from me and I want you to not do that. Don't beat yourself up. You can feel cruddy without thinking cruddy. So what are some of those things that we can use to uplift our minds, uplift our mental mindset during the 6 weeks of pregnancy? Or 6 weeks of morning sickness. Wow, that is too many S's, and pregnancy does not last 6 weeks. It lasts much longer than that. Although I know some of us wish it would last that 6 weeks. Anyways, sorry about me slipping up on all the S's, but the first thing is to distract your mind. Fill your mind with other thoughts than the negative thoughts that keep coming back. You can do that through a podcast, through music, through reading a book, or listening to an audiobook. There are so many ways that we can use to help us distract our mind. Now, I don't typically encourage you using screens. And even while you're pregnant, if you can be strong and not use the screen on some occasions, I think that's good. But also give yourself grace and realize that, this screen time and this YouTube channel is actually really helping me to be distracted from my negativity right now. And sometimes you gotta go for that. I'm going to tell you about a resource that I have done this summer that has really changed my perspective in a positive way. And maybe look into that resource. I will put the link to it in the show notes, but it is from The Well-Educated Heart, and she has a free course for moms called Catch the Vision. And that course kind of goes through shifting a mama's heart to finding joy in the arts, but not just the arts, in everyday motherhood. It really has been so powerful. And if you want to find more joy in your role as a mother, and especially in raising and teaching your children, and enjoying it, I really encourage you to listen to that. And I just finished, I think I have 2 more audios to listen to. But in the last one, she said it's 17 hours worth of stuff to listen to. That is a lot of distraction, mama. That can really help keep your mind occupied and off of your misery and to a better mental mindset. The third tip, and the other way I wanted to suggest for you to get your mind off of your misery, is to list why you are grateful. Now, usually I go to speed gratitude, but if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you probably are getting annoyed of the speed gratitude list. So I'm going to have you think a little bit different this time. Instead of just listing the things around you you're grateful for, I want you to think of all the reasons you are grateful for this pregnancy. Get a little bit deep with it and really allow your mind to think of how beautiful pregnancy is. What a miracle it is that your body can grow your posterity within. There are so many amazing things that happen within during pregnancy, and they really are miracles. Maybe you're even pregnant with a miracle baby, and just know in your mind how grateful you are for it and why you're grateful for this pregnancy. Pregnancy is hard. That is actually the name of my Facebook group, and it can be a very difficult season. I had struggles with it until I figured out that these mental mindsets do help. They help you to find more beauty in this process. And if you are struggling, if this podcast isn't quite enough, I have a course for these 6 weeks. It is full of 42 videos, which helps you to shift your mindset during these 6 weeks and to have a positive mental mindset. I know they can help you. They are short videos because I know you're a mom, and even though you can't do much, you still have your life and things that just happen with having kids and being a mom. That's why they are short. You don't have to do anything other than use your mind to find more positivity during this 6 weeks of morning sickness. If you are interested in that link will also be in the show notes, and it's called the Positive Pregnancy Program. You can do this, mama. Use these 3 tips. I will go through them again real quick right at the end so that you can be reminded and practice on them this week. Practice trying to find positivity. The first tip was that you can feel miserable without thinking miserable. The second tip was to distract yourself. Use a podcast, a book, an audiobook, music, or try the Catch the Vision course that I talked about. 17 hours of free good listening. And the third tip was to mentally make a list of why you are grateful for this pregnancy. Gratitude is transforming, and it comes in little doses as you just implement it here and there throughout your days. It can transform not only your pregnancy, but your life. You are amazing, mama. Your body is doing amazing things. Give yourself grace in this season and move forward believing how awesome motherhood is. God needs you in these endeavors. You need you in these endeavors. You don't have to do more than just shift a couple of thoughts to find more positivity. Keep up the good work. Thank you for sharing this with your pregnant friends. Thank you, most of all, though, for implementing this into your own life for more positivity, because you need you in these endeavors as well. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.